Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Shoujo-Verse. I'm your host today, Bees, and I'm here with Azza.
Hello.
Today, we are betraying our name into the Shoujo-Verse, and we're going to talk about shonen. A really popular one. You may have heard of it. It's called Demon Slayer.
Kimetsu no Yaiba. Does that just mean Demon Slayer?
I think so.
But, none of those words mean demon.
This is important. I've always just assumed that meant Demon Slayer.
I know a lot of words for demon. None of those words are demon. But watch me be proved wrong right now. Demon killing blade. Ki means demon. Metsu means destroy. No means of. Yaiba is ... because the article is just a preview. Okay. Demon killing blade. That makes sense.
Checks out. Anyways, the second season just ended. They wrapped up the Entertainment District arc. And we're gonna talk about it because we both watched it.
And because you guys liked B's last review.
Yeah, I went and watched the movie in theaters, and it was a good time. I wouldn't call it the best time, but it was a really good time.
Yeah, you gave it an 80, 85, I want to say.
Yeah. And I think my major issues with it were nothing that the movie could have really fixed, I don't think. It was source material problem. Which, not to spoil my review of this, but I think that's a similar thing going forward.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Just for a little bit of background for us two, I have read all of Demon Slayer. I read the entire manga. And Azza has not.
Nope. I am a manga virgin.
So we got our two different perspectives here. We're both caught up, just finished this, and now we're going to give you our reviews. And we're going to start with a no-spoiler review. Azza, what'd you think? No spoilers.
To be honest, it started out good, and I felt intrigued, but I was immediately irritated by the character of Uzui. He kind of grew on me over time, but I still can't say that I like him. And I feel like the middle of the arc, it was 11 episodes, if you separate the Entertainment District arc from the Demon Train arc, which you should. I don't know why you would join them, but some people do. Yeah, the middle was probably the most intriguing part. And I felt like I was dragging a bit, actually, kind of towards the end. But overall, it was still very enjoyable, especially being binged. I think the last, maybe 4 to 5 episodes are best binged all at once. If you have that kind of time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I did not binge it. I watched it week by week. And I think it would have benefited from binging. Which I don't say often. I think my no spoiler review is about the same. Except that I do enjoy Uzui Tenzin.
I kind of knew you would.
He's not a good man, but he is flashy, and I do appreciate him.
Huh.
If you watched season 1 of Demon Slayer and you enjoyed it, you're gonna like this. If you watched the movie and you enjoyed it, you're gonna like this. It is more of the same, but better.
If you like Demon Slayer, you're gonna like Demon Slayer.
Crazy, I know. Anyways, let's move on to spoilers. So if you haven't watched it and you want to know, if you care about spoilers, don't keep listening. Go watch it and then come back. You're probably going to binge through it in a day or two. It'll be okay. We'll be waiting.
Yeah, I don't think there's any special big twists here that are gonna ruin your watch through if you hear them now.
Probably not, but well, maybe towards the end. Anyways, it's better to just watch it. Ready? It's spoiler time. So, were you going to talk about with Tenzin? Episode 1.
All right.
The moment everyone on Twitter said, I wish I was her.
Right, let's address it. He has 3 wives, and that is
Does
very
he want
upsetting.
a 4th?
Does he?
Just saying.
Are you applying?
That's what everyone on Twitter says. That's not me. That's what everyone on Twitter says. I'm just vocalizing it for them.
Okay. I mean, he is really hot when he puts his hair down. I hate his hair in a little ponytail with that weird, like, rock-studded headband. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, like, random. I don't know what they're going for with the design there. Like, I know he wants to be flashy, but it just looks random to me. So, yeah, his headband really bothers me. But when he puts his hair down, whoo, hello.
I've actually seen on Twitter, they've been plugging a lot of figures of Tenzin. I don't have any figures, but there's one that I've got my eyes on. I'm like, is my first...
How much is it?
$80.
Okay, that's not bad.
I know, and that's why I'm going, hey, this is actually a good deal.
I want to see it.
I will send it to you. Do you want me to send it to you now or after the episode?
Just send it to me now. I'll keep talking about him while you're sending it. Yeah, so hair down Uzui is 10 million times better than hair up, weird bicep cuff, ripped off sleeve, schoolboy outfit Uzui. This design is just too random for me. It just isn't aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, like I said, any of his versions where his hair is down, I'm just like, oh yeah.
See, I'm a big fan of any of his designs. I'm just a big fan of him. And, I'm not really even bothered by the fact that he has 3 wives. Because it seems like they all have a very good relationship with each other. It's pretty wholesome.
It is wholesome. When you get more into his backstory and you find out, like, that he was kind of, I think, like, partially forced into having wives to, like, multiple wives to continue on his clan, like, to have as many children as possible. When you consider that, and when you consider that he's obviously very good to them, but, like, he still probably sleeps with all of them, and they're just fine with that, like sharing one man. I don't know. I'm not on board with that. But it's less Uzui I have a problem with, and it's more the creator who wanted to make this character. Who, like, tried to make a character that would, like, justified having 3 wives. I think that's more the issue I'm having. Because, like, in the end, you have to look at who made the character.
Right.
Because they're just a character.
I didn't even really have an issue with him having 3 wives. Like, at all. Honestly. He treats them all well. And obviously...
He does.
I mean, poly relationships exist, so...
Yeah. I wouldn't exactly call that poly, though, because as far as we know, the wives don't have multiple partners. They just have him. He gets multiple partners, but they don't.
True. Unless... Yeah.
So... I mean, maybe they do, but that was not really portrayed. It seems more just like polygamy, like Mormonism type of style.
He's way too flashy to be a Mormon.
Right. Oh my god, he wears, I was going to say he wears sunglasses, but he doesn't. But Mormons aren't allowed to wear sunglasses.
What?
Right? When I worked at Lens Crafters, a couple Mormon girls came in, and I was trying to sell them sunglasses. They were like, we're not allowed to wear sunglasses. I was like, why? It's just UV protection.
No.
I don't get it.
God says let your eyes burn.
Get cataracts. Okay. I think a couple moments that got to me was when he's portrayed as, like, this ultra kind person, because he's like, you guys are people and you guys have value, and, like, these women apparently have never been told that they have value other than just giving birth.
Well, I think that's more of his clan thing, which I think.
But are they part of his clan? I thought they were from other clans.
I think they were from his. I do think that the manga went more in depth with his backstory. Because I feel like there was a pretty big thing in the manga that was not even mentioned in the anime.
Okay, spoil it for me.
I'm pretty sure. I don't remember if they said it in the anime, but in his backstory, he was forced to fight everyone else in his family, and he was forced to kill all of his brothers because
yes, they did say that.
Yeah, because his dad was like, "I have to make the ultimate ninja. You are the ultimate ninja warrior."
Yeah, he did say that. That he and one brother survived, and he said his brother's like exactly like his dad,
and he killed him.
Yeah.
It's mostly the clan that forced, because the clan, his dad made him be like, don't care about anyone but yourself. You just go out and kill these people and be a ninja.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he went to his wives and he's like, oh, no. Worry about yourselves too. It's not all about me.
Well, it was more just, it was like, you don't have to throw your life away for mine. Right. I thought they were from different clans, but
I might have that wrong. I don't know.
Because wouldn't that be like interbreeding? Like, I would imagine that because there's so few clan members left, they would be like interbred if they were from his own clan.
I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway, generally just Demon Slayer does do the shonen thing of sexualizing the female characters for no reason.
Oh my god. those poor wives. I will say I hate their outfits.
Yes, why? They're not functional at all. And then poor Nezuko.
Oh my god.
We can finish talking about Uzui and his wives first, but
that made me so uncomfortable.
Gears. Right? Like, all this time, she's been such a cute little sister, and then it was like, the artist couldn't stand it anymore. He had to make Nezuko a sexy woman, too.
The artist is also a woman, which is like...
The artist is a woman? Oh, you mean the author isn't, but the artist is?
No, the author is the artist.
Oh. Well, look at me, so ignorant here.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure. 90-99? What?
Koyoharu Gotoge. Koyoharu definitely sounds like a female name. The author maintains anonymity in public.
Oh, hold on. Despite the fact that the author has not uncovered their gender and just uses they them pronouns, a Weekly Shonen Jump worker unveiled that the creator is a woman. Allegedly.
Oh, allegedly. I mean, that doesn't mean... I mean, Japanese culture is still kind of, it's still a male-dominated society. The author's editors probably are still, like, in there pushing for sexual female characters. Or it could be their own preference. I don't know, but...
Yeah, I did not like Nezuko being... I know it was part of her demon blood art, but really, was it necessary, though? Was it necessary?
This happens a lot, like, in Hunter x Hunter, when Gon, like, goes out of control and powers up and he gets an adult body, too. Mm-hmm. But, like, I was fine with that.
He wasn't sexualized.
Weird, but, like, it wasn't sexualized. And, like, his never-ending hair was just, like,
hilarious.
A source of wonder. Yeah. I love seeing cosplay of people, like, cosplays people have done of his 6-story hair. Oh, so good. But yeah, like, it's been done before in shonen. So, like, the concept that when you kind of go out of control with anger and, like, unleash all of your power at once, you, like, get an adult body is not new, but, like, it just wasn't right for Nezuko.
Especially since when she's, like, tired, she becomes, like, an even smaller child. It just...
Right?
Feels gross.
Yeah, I prefer Chibi Nezuko. She's already, like, such a pet, Like, she's almost not a sister anymore. She's more like a pet.
Right, especially because she doesn't speak either.
Yeah, she just goes, and, like, becomes tiny and cute, with like a simplified face a lot of the time. And then all of a sudden your pet just has boobs.
Yeah.
Not that I want her to be portrayed as a pet. Like, she should still be portrayed as a person, but they kind of make her out to be like a pet now.
Yeah. Gross. Bad. Don't like that.
So we should put into context for anyone who's listening but hasn't watched it, that Nezuko kind of powers up in the middle of the last battle, and through this power, and for some reason she gets like vine flowery patterns on her body too. I'm not really sure why that happens. Do you know why?
I don't think it is I don't think there's a reason, really.
No, it just looks cool. It's just a demon thing that happens.
Yeah, she also gets a horn.
Yeah, which is fine. That's a demon-y thing. That makes sense. How do you like? Have you ever had a problem with the way that Nezuko is in the box? Like the fact that Tanjiro just does whatever the fuck with her in the box, and she doesn't come out like black and blue.
I just assume she can rapidly heal because she's a demon.
Still, that's not cool, man. Like, he always goes and puts it on his back in the middle of a battle. Like, leave it to the side. She doesn't need to get rattled around in there. She's trying to sleep.
I will take this opportunity to transition to another topic, which I saw someone mention online, and as soon as they said this, I was like, "You're right." That the mangaka loves to beat these characters to hell and back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every single character just gets so fucked up.
Okay, so I don't know which is older. Well, I do know which is older. I assume Boku no Hero is older.
Yes.
Right? I mean, like, where they're at in the manga now, I don't know if they're happening at the same time or what, but I feel like this really started with Boku no Hero. Or at least, like, it went to another level as far as shonen goes. You know what? No, One Piece does that too. One Piece, like, kills Luffy over and over and over, and then he somehow magically, like, you know, finds a piece of meat or something and gets his second, third, fourth, fifth wind. I guess this is just a shonen thing. But, like, I think Demon Slayer and Boku no Hero both will show, like, specifically damaged body parts, like the fingers being broken, or, like, if they have a stab wound, like, they really like show specific injuries, whereas I feel like in One Piece they're like generalized damage, like taken so many hits, but they don't have like a specific wound necessarily, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, especially with Nezuko's healing abilities, that means you can throw even more violence at her and she'll just be okay. But it's still just like
having legs ripped off.
Yeah. It's like, I know we're fighting literal demons here, but I'm also going to transition now into my main biggest issue. That even one of my friends, like, we were watching it at the same time, he told me, he was like, it feels kind of like the stakes aren't there when you just know everyone can just, like, push through. Even if they're literally about to die, they're gonna get that second wind. And it's like, the stakes aren't there if you just know they're gonna make it.
Okay, but to be honest, like, I did think, I didn't really know if Uzui was gonna make it or not, because Rengoku died. Spoiler for Demon Train, if you haven't seen that.
May he rest in peace.
Mugen Train, sorry. Yes, bless him. I almost thought that Uzui would die as well, or possibly one of his wives, at least one. So I did think, like, it did feel like there was a possibility of death. No, we know that our main three boys are not going to die. Like, yeah, they're going to make it. No matter how fucking beat up they get.
Stab through the heart? No, just kidding. I can use my muscles to move it.
Yeah, to healing breathing. So that's a good point, though. Like, I guess the stakes, I mean, isn't this true of all shonen, though? Because, like, you know your main character's never gonna die.
Right.
Unless it's, like, the very end of the show, maybe. But where are the stakes if your main characters can't die?
Right, and if the main characters can't die, and we're fighting demons who are also nearly impossible to kill, we get really, really long battles.
Yes, that is my biggest complaint. Oh my god, it was like 5 or 6 episode long battle.
And every time you thought it was over, no, here comes another phase.
For like the 4th time, they cut off the demon's head, but they didn't do it right, so it's attached again.
But I will say, Ufotable does amazing things. There were some moments when Tanjiro was doing the sun dance, fighting the girl, Daki. Yes, when he was fighting Daki, there was that episode where he remembered how to do the dance and attacking Daki. He like stepped up. Oh my god, there was some great animation sequence. I was like, oh my god, let me rewind and watch that again.
Yeah, that was for sure the most exciting part. And then it kind of felt like
it kept going.
That had no impact. Yeah, like what was the point of that? All it did was wind up with him having 2 busted fingers. Or no, that was Gyutaro who did that later. But yeah, it just wound up leaving him like winded, and he recovered from that anyway. Like it didn't like make any progress in the battle. I guess it bought Uzui time, but it didn't feel like he actually accomplished anything, because it just kind of, when their heads reattach, it just resets.
Yeah.
They take no permanent damage.
Yeah, if that's, I think, one of my biggest complaints with, and this is again not the TV anime's fault, it's the source material's fault for just dragging on this fight that just kept going and going. And I know we're supposed to show that the demons are really, really hard to kill, but like, you are beating me over the head with that.
Yeah, the amount of sacrifice that goes into killing the demons, it's almost like, is it not better to let them live? Like, you're sacrificing just as many lives to kill them as you are to leave them alive.
They look really good, but they are too long.
Yes. I don't know how, is it UFO table?
Ufotable is what I say.
Table, ufotable. Look this up now. In Japan, they pronounce UFO as UFO, speaking as if it were a word and not an acronym. The table is named after a literal UFO table they bought when they were establishing themselves. Interesting. So it's UFO table. Why was I looking that up? Oh yeah, UFO table does an amazing job with the animation. Very high quality. In general, do you feel like just all studios are putting out better quality animation these days?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. I think
really,
maybe in general. Sorry, I watched recently some best and worst anime of the year videos, and I'm thinking about X Arms right now.
I don't know that one.
It's horrible, actually. But I mean, if we exclude that, it's probably unfair of me to think that's where my mind immediately went.
X Arms.
I guess in general, yeah. I think as technology has improved, and also I think with COVID, people have to stay at home more often. And I know at least for like Ranking of Kings, they've...
Oh my god, can we do a review of that? Have you been watching that?
I haven't been watching it, but I follow someone on Twitter, an animator from the Philippines, who did some animation for Ranking of Kings, which means that they're using more outside resources, which I think, yeah, is...
frees up time for them to
make it look better.
Yeah. That's... Okay, so I have a friend, might as well give her a shout out, Ashley Armstrong. She is a storyboard revisionist on Bob's Burgers. And so over the years, I've, learned some things about animation and how the animation industry works, at least here in America. She also worked on a couple other cartoons, but generally it sounds like they outsource a lot of the animation. And then basically it comes in really bad and they just come in and fix all of it. So I don't know if that works the same way in Japan. I don't know if that's what they do as well. Anyway.
But I do know that a lot of people have been complaining for a long time about how horrible the animation industry has been, because there's just so much pressure and so little time and just taking on more and more, and lots of not fair compensation for work.
You know, I think Japan is finally starting to, like, with Crunchyroll and Funimation, like, doing much more simulcasts and even simuldubs. Like, I think it goes to show that Japan is, like, finally recognizing that they have an international audience and that they should be trying to market to this audience. They should be taking advantage of this audience and trying to make money off of this audience rather than just looking at consumers in Japan.
Looking at strictly Blu-ray sales, which I know that was the indicator for so long, and it might still be.
Right. And you know, we get DVDs of whatever anime, like, years later. A single disc with like 4 episodes costs $35. Like, that's just not sustainable. Like, nerds aren't going to go for that, and we haven't gone for that. So
who even has a DVD player?
Right? I mean, I have an Xbox. But... So yeah, I think maybe that they're finally starting to pay attention to this international audience. Maybe they're making more money. This is honestly just a guess. It's not grounded in any knowledge.
I would assume they make a lot of money from Crunchyroll and Funimation because they have to get the rights to be able to stream this stuff. And how many people
can just charge what they want?
Yeah, and how many people have Crunchyroll subscriptions? It's like 4, but we all share.
Right? Even Netflix and like HBO have some anime on there. Like, it's fine. Like, and not just like random obscure ones, which are like, why is this the anime that is available to me that I have never heard of before, that no one has ever heard of before? Now it's actually stuff that people want to see. It's changing little by little.
Hopefully it'll change more and for the better. Back to Demon Slayer. The animation, amazing. Like, as it was I think it's even better than season 1, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so.
The movie? The movie just felt tighter to me, but I think that's because it was a movie.
Yeah. The movie was impressive with the animation, but the
pacing
show,
too.
Yeah, the show comes pretty close though.
Yeah, there were some like great moments that you can tell those are the moments. Ooh, and they hit right.
One of those moments I think we mentioned already being when Tanjiro gets really angry. What was it that set him off again?
Wait, when I think she was taunting him. Or was...
What did she say? Damn it.
Hold on, let me look.
Are we qualified to do reviews? We don't remember what's happening.
Oh, you know what? Here it is. I'm reading the summary on Wikipedia. Yay.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
It's Daki. As they battle, Daki caused immense destruction to the district, taking the lives of numerous innocents. And that enraged him.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, she kills a bunch of village folk. Stupid-ass village folk who won't get the fuck out when they see a demon in their house. And they just stand there like, let's watch them have this conversation.
Yeah, but then the wives get the townspeople out, allegedly. We don't really see that. And then the whole town is leveled.
Yeah, we just kind of don't address that in the end. Who knows how many people died at the very end of the battle.
Are the Demon Slayers, I can't remember from season 1, they're not like a secret organization, are they? They're just not known? Because they're doing a pretty bad job of being a secret. Themselves.
Right? No, I don't think they're trying to be secret, but just they don't advertise themselves. Like, no kid is like, I'm gonna go join the Demon Corps. Like, they just recruit people based off of abilities, like.
And if your life has been destroyed by a demon, hey kid, you want some revenge? Come with us.
Pretty much that, right? Pretty much, if you're a kid whose life has been destroyed by a demon, that's how you get in.
Let me think. Is there anything else we want to cover? Okay. What do you think about the last episode, which is like an episode and a half long?
Mm-hmm.
Covering the demon backstories between Gyutaro and Daki.
It was honestly, at this point, like the demon backstories are getting really predictable. Just given Gyutaro's emaciated appearance and his the spotting on his face, I predicted that he had some kind of disease, which made him like an outcast, and that his little sister was probably like conscripted into being an oiran, sleeping with men for money. And lo and behold, that was the story.
What? Crazy. I understand the necessity, or, well, why they put in the demon backstories, but, like, don't really care. Yeah, for two. I do like, okay, might sound bad. I do like that the demons are committed to being demons, and they're like, yeah, I'd do this again.
Yeah, the music that accompanied Gyutaro and his little sister, whose real name I forgot, walking into the flames of hell was like weirdly uplifting, and I thought very inappropriate for what was happening. That was kind of off.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I understand that they're family and they'll never be separated, even if they go even to hell. They're going together. I understand that Tanjiro is like the best human being that's ever existed, and he has sympathy even for these horrible demons, but like,
okay, so remember, it was in this season when he goes to talk to Rengoku. We've been talking about the latter half of the season a lot, but in the beginning he goes to talk to Rengoku's father.
Yes.
And gets treated like, shit, just like he treated his own son. But then Tanjiro, for once, gets mad and, like, goes off on the dad. And I was like, yes, Tanjiro, yes,
yes.
Like, go.
And he head-butted the shit out of him?
Yes, I was like, more of this, please, but never again.
Yeah, I just, like, I understand you want, like, the absolute perfect protagonist, but, like, come on. If that was me, I would have no sympathy. Do you know how many innocents they killed? You know, they almost killed you and your friends.
I want to say his empathy comes from the fact that his sister also got turned into a demon. Like, if that hadn't happened to him, I don't think he would have any sympathy or empathy towards
You're right.
demons. I think and that makes sense, but it doesn't explain how he's like a fucking angel all the time. But I guess that's, where it comes from.
Yeah. And that's a problem I even had when reading the manga.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, in general, my main problem with this series is like my problem with shonen in general is that everything is just so simplified on an emotional level.
Yeah. And the characters have like gags that they just kind of repeat over and over. Like Inosuke forgets Tanjiro's name, never remembers his name, and it's like, how many episodes have they been together now, and he still will get his name wrong? And it's just like these running gags, I guess, which is just like at a certain point, you're just like, I feel completely neutral towards this gag. I might even find it annoying. Like, it like slows down character growth.
Yeah, Senetsu, I hate him. I'm gonna be honest. When he's during that entire fight when he was asleep, he's okay. But as soon as he opens his mouth and starts crying, I hate him.
He's a bit intolerable when he's awake. I will give you that. He is amazing when he's asleep, though, and I was so glad that he was asleep for like half of this season.
I know. It's so bad.
I was like, Zenitsu, you are the most dangerous one of all. I feel like he's the most powerful. It's just that he can't be that powerful when he's awake, and that's the problem. But like,
yeah, that's not like great if he just cries so much. He's so whiny. And it was easier to ignore in the manga because you can't actually hear it.
You can't hear it, yeah. Also, it probably doesn't last as long in the manga. So, like, on that note, going back to the demons, Gyutaro and Daki, I think the reason why I didn't care about their backstory, or why it felt, like, off, was because they, too, were very annoying characters.
Yes.
One of the things that made the battle last so long between everyone is that Gyutaro has a propensity to go on these monologues about how he hates everyone. And I like one monologue would have been fine. That would have been fine. But he had to do like multiple monologues every episode about how he hates everyone and they're lucky or whatever. And the voice that the actor puts on, like, it's good. He's doing good voice acting, but it's really annoying if you have to listen to that much of it.
Yeah. And then
Daki with her crying and like, you're so fucking ugly, you don't deserve to be alive. Okay, that's your character. That's your whole character. In that one sentence, summed up, that's your character. I do not need you to say any more words.
For how intense Demon Slayer is, there sure is a lot of crying.
Just a lot of whining, a lot of repetition. Which, like, I guess if you want to be generous and say that these demons are kind of like frozen in the last emotions they felt at the end of their lives, and they're like ghosts, you know, like they're kind of locked in to those final emotions they felt, that could make sense,
but they're not, because we saw Daki have other emotions when Muzan was there,
right? Like, she clearly wanted to please him, or more than that. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying if you want to be generous, which I don't want to be generous. But yeah, they're too annoying. Like, I feel like we could have cut a good 2 episodes out of that battle, and then it would have been great.
Yep. That's probably my biggest complaint, is just the pacing of it. And that is, again, not an animation problem, but a source material problem.
And this is why we recommend you binge it.
Yeah. Okay, despite as much as I complained about it, I still really loved it. I might be a little bit of a slut for Demon Slayer.
That much, huh?
It's definitely not peak writing, but like the animation and the character design.
Yeah, I really enjoy this different art style. Like, it really doesn't resemble like any other art style. Which is, I feel like, hard to do nowadays. So it really has established its own style. And like, even with Uzui's 3 wives, like, each of them have very different faces.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, shoujo, but all of your men all have the same face, and your women all have the same face, just different hair.
I think, other than characters that are supposed to look like each other, see Kage Uyashiki, he's the leader of the Demon Slayer, see his children.
Kagega and his children. Literal quadruplets, I think.
But other than them, I think the mangaka just said, okay, every single character is going to look completely different, except for family. Thinking about Rengoku. But yeah, what would you give for a rating?
I think that's a bit tough, because I feel like for the first 6 episodes, I would give a different rating than for the last 6. Or 5, I should say. It was 11 episodes. Yeah, because I enjoyed the first 6, honestly. Even though, like, not a lot of action was happening. I liked the wrap-up with Rengoku's family. Like, it wasn't rushed at all, which was nice. And of course, like we said earlier, like, Tanjiro having, like, going off on the dad was like my favorite moment probably in the whole season. Then when Uzui showed up, I was like, I don't like this guy.
That's okay. I'll have him.
Put his hair down and I'll have him.
You know, I say this all about him, but he's not even my favorite Hashira.
Who's your favorite Hashira?
It's Gyu. I love Gyu. For reasons I will not explain.
I'm like, I feel like I kind of know your type, and I'm like, he doesn't quite seem like it.
Rengoku is number 2. Bro, his death. Oh. He's such a good boy. Why do you have to die?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a thing that is alluded back to throughout the rest of the series. As it should be.
What, Rengoku's death?
Yeah, just like people remembering him and talking about him, because they should. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in Shonen, when a character dies, they kind of quickly move on from the death, and it doesn't like follow the characters for a while like it should.
Yeah, but even Izui thought about Rengoku during that fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he respected Rengoku.
Everyone respects Rengoku.
Oh, he's so good.
All right, so what would you rate it then? Oh, I never rated it. Honestly, I'd probably rate it the way I rate most anime. Like a 75.
Yeah. I think I definitely did not like it as much as the movie. But it was still enjoyable, and I didn't like, as I was watching it, I didn't actively dislike it. Most of the problems that I think of afterwards, like when I'm reflecting. But in the moment, it's all exciting stuff. I think I'd give it a 75, 7.5. Except when anyone is crying on screen, then I have to lower the volume a bunch and I just sigh and wait.
Senetsu comes on screen. It's like, eyes closed? Okay, you can stay.
Yeah.
Eyes open? Mute.
Basically.
The whole time, like, it's kind of funny, and at the same time, it's kind of distracting that he has a snot bubble the whole time. And I'm like, this just, I mean, also his hair being in pigtails and, like, stuff, but I'm like, this drastically takes away from your coolness. Because I'm concerned, like, any moment the snot bubble could pop. Like, when will it pop? When will it pop? That's not what's important right now.
You're right, but it's, I mean, I understand, like, he looked goofy the whole time because they were in the middle of a mission, but, like, he did look goofy the whole time.
Yes, he did. I'm so glad Tanjiro didn't go through the final battle in his little training order on makeup.
I do want to say, I appreciated that Inosuke had the mask off for multiple episodes.
Yeah.
I know he hates having the mask off, but I like him without it.
I was impressed that he was playing his part, because, like, that shows a small amount of character growth for him, that he was able to, like, even if it wasn't for long, and he eventually just, you know, decided, like, fuck this, I'm gonna do my thing my way. But he did, like, pretend to be a girl and, like, didn't speak for a number of days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are growing.
He also like did cry at the end when he saw that Zenitsu and Tanjiro were also alive.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of hard to tell, you know, because he was wearing his mask again, but I think he did cry.
As much as he pretends not to know Tanjiro's name. Right, or maybe he doesn't.
Right. He does. He knows Tanjiro's name. I mean, you all may have your opinion, but I believe in his heart he knows Tanjiro's name. He just, affection embarrasses him, so he has to keep pretending like he doesn't.
You know, I think I want to wrap up the episode with my absolute favorite, the peak of all of Demon Slayer so far. The muscle mice.
Demon Slayer.
I love those muscle mice.
Weird little moments sometimes.
I remember reading the manga.
They say muscle, don't they?
Yeah. I read in the manga, I was like, I am screenshotting this forever. And I went back and I found those screenshots and I was like, yep, I love those guys. They're just so, like, out of nowhere. Where did these muscle mice come from? How did you train mice to be super strong?
Right?
Who knows? They're just here, and I love them.
I can't even say that it was plot convenience. 'Cause, like, you could easily have come up with another way for your sword to have been, like, stored somewhere. Muscle mice.
But muscle mice.
I hope they come back.
I think they do.
You don't just drop muscle mice and then never reference them again.
No. So, with that, I give it a muscle mice out of 10. Yep. Thank you for listening to Into the Shoujo-Verse. We will catch you next time. Talking about shoujo, maybe. Goodbye!
Bye!
My cat is behind me currently, I don't know what he's doing, but he's, doesn't want to get off my jacket. Sir, please, can you get off my jacket? Get off.
That was funny. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Into the Shoujo-Verse. Check out our social media. We're on Twitter at the Shoujo-Verse, YouTube and Instagram at Shoujo-Verse, and TikTok at Into the Shoujo-Verse. Thank you so much.